Third down and 3 for the Ravens. We're going to see Devin Duvernay come on this jet sweep action, which is going to suck 22 away from the play. We're going to watch Ben Powers come pull, and he's going to kick out on and seal effectively Myles Garrett. And we're going to watch Ricard and Andrews go work to get some leverage. Almost had the potential to pop this one for a really long gain as 22 comes down and bites. It really would have been John Johnson, who had a horrible day tackling, and Gus Edwards. Edwards only his third play back. Can't knock him. This play gets a first down on 3rd and 3. Has the potential, if he just rides right there through that gap, to maybe go lay a stiff arm, something like that. But again, only his third play back. Really fun run from the Ravens on their opening possession.
In the red zone, the Ravens call their first sprint out of the year. We're going to see Mark Andrews come across the formation, and you see 22 trail him. That's where Lamar is looking. So what do you know? If you follow, it's man coverage. The Browns are showing a pressure look. You see that they have off coverage, these three. He comes up to the line of scrimmage. All right, we're going to get a man look here. And we're going to see a China, a.k.a. trip smash sprint out. So Lamar is going to sprint this way and try and throw the ball. He doesn't really get enough room to attack the line of scrimmage and re-square to Mark Andrews. So, again, we want to play the blame game, but this is normal. Mark Andrews is going to run this flag route. He runs it pretty flat, does a good job there. And Duvernay is going to run a return. Bateman is going to run a return. And that's going to get these DBs to trigger away from Mark Andrews. We're going to see Pat Ricard go try and lead. The blockers here, I think maybe Moses kind of drifts into Lamar's field vision, and Lamar's going to want to put this ball on the pylon. This is always going to Mark Andrews. No matter what smash you're running, this is probably going to Mark Andrews. You're not sure, if Ricard is blocking, this linebacker becomes a question mark. He could cut something off over the middle of the field. That's fine, doesn't matter. Maybe if you have these guys, as in Bateman and Duvernay, run more inside and maybe, come in and just run a hard slant, then maybe Lamar can just try and go get the corner. It's 3rd and 3. It's a little bit messier. He maybe still could have done that, but it is a little messier. So, again, we're going to watch these corners have to drive on those routes. Clears the path for Mark Andrews. That's an easy throw. Those DBs, as Lamar throws it, are driving downhill. They're not making a play on the ball. The ball's always going to Mark Andrews. Again, this is the first sprint out they've run. So, just can't quite get deep enough back there. It feels like he needed to kind of re-square a little bit. Maybe he could have, maybe he couldn't. He felt confident enough to make the throw that way. He was in rhythm as he flicked it. He tried to go with this, flick of the wrist, which so many quarterbacks and so many, analysts always like. Lamar is insane what he can do just flicking his wrist. So just doesn't quite work out. Can't put it on the pylon for your 6'5", 250-pound tight end. It's not an easy throw, man. Throwing across your body is not easy, but we have seen Lamar do it many times before. Hollywood Brown against the Cowboys. We saw this exact kind of throw, a little bit more high difficulty. Mark Andrews against the Commanders. He just can't really re-square into it. He's kind of running flat, dead across his body like a shortstop instead of being able to kind of square and attack.
16 here, we're going to see the Ravens face a 3-man rush, and the Browns are going to do something a little bit tricky here. So the Ravens motion Justice Hill out of the backfield into empty, and we're going to see the Browns, the snap look, the look pre-snap is going to be that there's a 2 high, and then there's 5 defenders through here, and the Browns are possibly rushing Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So what the Browns end up doing is running a cover 3 variation. These corners are going to maintain outside leverage. One safety is going to go sit in the hole with 4 other defenders, and the other safety is going to go over top. So we end up seeing the Ravens run a dagger to the left side, a very common concept they run a lot. Rashad Bateman going to run that dig. James Prochet going to run this deep post. Justice Hill's going to leak out. Mark Andrews is who Lamar Jackson ends up reading. He's going to go try and sit at the sticks, and then Pat Ricard is going to chip on Clowney and then go leak out into the flat over here. So we'll see Lamar Jackson on the end zone angle. You can see his eyes a little better. Tries to work to Mark Andrews, and the only opportunity that he really maybe had to convert here would have been if he was reading the left side first, which would have been that dig from Rashad Bateman. We can see it again. So you can watch Bateman up here. He is going to run that dig. We're going to see right as he turns, you could maybe try to fire the ball in. It would have been a pretty nice throw, a difficult throw. So the ball would have had to start to come out if he was reading that side right about now. His arm needs to start to raise so that he can hit clear between those windows. But guess what? I mean, there's a defender right here. So it would have been a really tough throw and catch. Bateman hasn't been practicing. He's looking to Andrews. Andrews hasn't been practicing. So it's a tough throw right there. He gets his eyes over there way too late anyway. So he would have had to try to, I guess, throw it earlier. I don't know. It would have been tough regardless. We've seen quarterbacks make that throw. It's something that does happen. It's a high difficulty level throw. So we'll see it again. And again, the Browns rush 3. We'll watch Jackson's eyes here. and has a bit of time, gets to the top of his drop. He's working through, starts to move. Cormoa starts to rush late, and then Jackson tries to scramble through. So again, we'll watch his eyes. He starts looking to Andrews when he gets to the top of his drop. Then his eyes come over a little bit later, and it's too late by this point. Nothing's really open. He's trying to see if he can work around for a little bit. He ends up scrambling and gets ruled down because his wrist touches the ground. So a third down stop on 3rd and long for the Browns. So now it's 3rd and 11, and we see a very similar result, except Lamar Jackson stays very throw ready, makes a great play here. So the Ravens end up keeping in 2. So we have Justice Hill and Mark Andrews. They're going to chip. Bateman is isolated-ish. So the chipper, we'll call this somewhat of an isolated situation. He's going to run a dig on the other side. The Browns are going to end up, you're going to see their safeties. They're going to drop out from mugging, and then there's going to be this hole in the middle of the field again. These two pretty much just going to clear out. And watch the way Jackson navigates, stays throw ready on 3rd down this time. So he lived to die on 3rd down, stays throw ready. Myles Garrett gets in his face, makes an awesome throw despite the pressure in his face. And then skibidoo bop 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 shabop from Rashad Bateman after the catch. Does a little riffing, little rolling, and generates an explosive play there. So again, the Ravens are keeping 7 in against potentially 6. We watch them navigate through. I like the way he rolled away from the pressure and resets right here. So, okay, Myles Garrett's on that side. I trust what's happening here. And then dials in. Beep, boop, beep. Found him. Myles Garrett in my face, and I don't care. Throws right around him. This is an awesome play on 3rd down. And then boop, boop, bop, bop, skidap, bop, bee. Boop, boop, bop, 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 bop. Just does a little ska riff there, some jazz music, and converts a 1st down on 3rd down. In the red zone, driving against the Browns. And we're going to see them get this trips bunch on the left. They send likely in motion, and we're going to see double screen. So we're going to have Demarcus Robinson sitting while these two kind of fake block. Andrews is going to release. Then we're going to see Oliver go for a fade on the backside. We're going to watch Drake on a slip screen. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is going to come off and tip this pass, which very well might have saved a touchdown from the Ravens here. You can see him barely get his hand on it. Drake might have walked in. There's a little bit of a one-on-one battle going on, but Drake would have had a little head start. And we'll see. Koramoah comes in untouched. Jackson plays it off perfectly and just barely gets a hand on it right there. And then you see the ball wobble out. Drake would have been able to maybe turn back inside of Phillips and go score a touchdown. Really, really, really difficult. Really, really, really difficult to watch. Koramoah made a huge play, also strips. Koramoah kind of almost won this game for the Browns. Definitely was an MVP of the game for the Browns. So the frustration's there. It was a good play call. It was just one player on the Browns, gets a fingernail on a football, gets a hand on a football, and forces it to be a field goal yet again. So a little bit of first half struggles in the red zone for the Ravens. And 17 here, and we're going to see the Ravens really kind of run a 3-man concept here. So 3rd and 17 again. So obviously the Browns are playing super off. I think they run a cover 3 variation. These two are going to drop off. This safety right here is going to sit and vision towards there. And this safety's got, the deep middle back here. We're going to see Bateman try and run this out and up. And 23 does a good job. Martin Anderson getting hands on him. And then 43 is kind of right there, ready to roll. These two are going to drop out. We do see James Prochet go sit near the sticks, and maybe there's a brief moment where if Lamar's eyes were connected there, maybe he can fire that and get it out and convert a 1st down. Mark Andrews stays in. Justice Hill is kind of just in the flat, ready to chip if Clowney comes outside. So the Browns are going to end up stunting and looping this guy all the way around the outside, and then able to slip through a little bit, get some pressure, get a sack for the 2nd time in 3 plays here, get off the field on 3rd down. So it was really long developing routes again. Prochet's going to go sit. I think Duvernay goes up here and sits towards there. And again, a double move. And it looks like Lamar did want Bateman, and the Browns just didn't care what was happening underneath. And there's really only 3 threats on the play. So that's my issue with the play call. But it is what it is. I'm not mad at Lamar for taking a sack here. What did he not do? Throw a pick. What did he not do? Get stripped. Could he have checked down to go maybe get 10 yards or end up with a hey diddle diddle Ray Rice play? Sure. Is there a chance to maybe, if you're looking at Prochet first, is there a chance to maybe zip it right now, right there, perfect, be perfect? Sure. It's a far throw, whatever. 2 guys were sitting right there on top of it. Maybe he can make a play. Maybe it's a pick and didn't turn the ball over. So not the end of the world there. Is what it is. 3rd and 17, you don't convert a lot of those. And they did convert a couple long 3rd down plays in this one. So not the end of the world here. In the back half of the game here in the 3rd quarter, Ravens are driving, ball in the Cleveland 22, and the Browns are going to send a cover 0, I believe, a heavy pressure. We see a man on a man all around, so this is a cover 0. Back stays in, and pretty good spread out situation here. Andrews does freelance a little bit, but so we've got Rashad Bateman isolated down here, and definitely could have tried to hit this. Andrews is going to go up with Delpit, take a little bit of an outside release there, and then go, and we're going to see Delpit with the OPI. Likely is going to clear out this way. He's decently open here. And Lamar Jackson is going to fade and try and chuck one up for his playmaker, Mark Andrews. And we'll see on the reverse. It gets picked up. This blitz gets picked up really well. And Delpit just really holds the crap out of Mark Andrews here. So we see he's in split as a tight end. And I'll go back and slow it down. You can really see how much that deters him. That might have actually been a touchdown. I think people are like, oh, why are you fading off your back foot? You know, what the heck? Whatever. But I think this was secretly good ball placement from Jackson. You can see right here, really Delpit emphasizing that inside leverage. And he just gets all of Mark Andrews and pushes him off his spot. And Andrews is just trying to, wave his arms as much as he can to be like, what the heck, stops running. So I think that actually would have been a good ball, but pass interference gets thrown. That's going to count, man. It's a first down for the Ravens on 3rd down. 3rd and goal. Down here in the red area, Josh Oliver almost made a crazy catch last play. Ravens go into twins right here, backs on the right. Boom, boom. And we're going to see the little skinny post and then a little 3-step kind of bullets, or I guess a 3-step slant, normal slant here. I think these guys just go. So Lamar's going to read to this side. You got the 2-on-2, and Prochet is going to be in this window. Maybe he can fit that ball in, but the ball ends up going to Bateman, who does give himself a very nice angle on this route. We'll watch it full speed. Ball's there. Bateman drops the ball a little bit. That's all that happened. Bateman just didn't quite reel it in all the way. Nice, quick, explosive release off that back foot, crosses the face, clear ahead, gets his hands out, and the ball just kind of falls into his body, kind of halfway extends his arms. Like to see him extend all the way, sure, whatever. We can see a little bit better. We can go full speed one time. Boom. Ball's there. Bam. It wasn't perfect timing, but it was 90% good timing. Almost there. So close. It was like an elbow length away. And we'll see Lamar Jackson. Nice little 1-step drop there. Hitch throw. Watch it in slow motion. Linebackers are just sitting still. And might have been able to fit it to Prochet, whatever, but he wants to go to Bateman. Bateman wants his guy. Owusu-Kormo was there, and you can just see the ball. It's a little mustard, hits right into his thigh. Really lucky that he was able to corral it. There, the knees down. He was short. And Emerson is right on his butt. Emerson had a nice game, man. Very nice game. So then the Ravens end up going for it here, and we'll see what happens. I haven't watched this one yet. Handed to Gus Edwards. They thought it was going to be a quarterback sneak, and he burrows his way in for a touchdown by the hairs on his chinny chin chin. So the Browns are in double A gap, super low, ready to sprawl out, bring in the motion, and they just sprawl through, trying to make a mess that Lamar Jackson can't go. Edwards just sidesteps and follows Ricard for the touchdown. That's a conversion on 4th down. Edwards rolls. Jackson is pumped, man. He doesn't care. And if you watch this game, and we go back to this play, and this is a touchdown instead, and then Lamar Jackson goes 9 for 16 with a touchdown instead. Maybe everybody feels a little bit better about the pass game and this, that, and all those things, but instead, he's pumped, man. He's pumped for this touchdown right here. You can see it. Touchdown. 6 points is 6 points. A win is a win. 6 points is 6 points. It does not matter.
3, and we're going to see the Ravens motion Devin Duvernay into a split back look with Gus Edwards, and they're going to use Duvernay as the triple option look, but it's not actually a triple option. Everyone's blocked up. Gus Edwards just steam piles right through the 2-eye that comes loose here. We're going to see double teams inside. Zeitler and Moses work a combo. Linderbaum and Powers work a combo. Ricard and Andrews dig out. And we see 96 here, peek, and try and go make a tackle on Gus Edwards, and just melts off of him like butter in a bowl. First down Ravens, 3rd and 3.
around midfield as the fourth quarter is rolling, and the Ravens are going to try and run this little fullback dive here. We're going to watch Myles Garrett just slip right across Josh Oliver's face, wraps Pat Ricard around the neck, and ends the play. That's why he's an All-Pro. That's why he is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate perennially. You just see a bigger, stronger, more athletic man here shoot across, sees and reacts immediately to Morgan Moses, gets right around, reaches out a paw, grabs Pat Ricard, and piggybacks on top of him, wraps through, 44 lends a little hand, and gets through. So that leads to 4th and 1. And the Ravens are going to get creative here. Kind of the concerning part is that it took the Ravens a month to come up with this play and get it in. And I understand the pivot aspect. So we're going to see Mark Andrews is going to reverse pivot, toss the ball to Lamar Jackson. Ronnie Stanley's going to get out in front. Devin Duvernay. The reason this doesn't go for a touchdown is because Duvernay forces Deion Jones, number 54 right here, to undercut this. And Deion Jones actually makes an unbelievable play and prevents this from being a touchdown. Feel something a little funky's happening here. Pretend like they're going to try and get him to jump. Justice Hill gets his man. Ronnie Stanley turns it back inside. And Deion Jones does a really nice job forcing this to the sideline and preventing a touchdown, really, man. I mean, the Ravens throw a super creative call at them, execute it decently well. Even on Duvernay's block, I mean, he forces him to go underneath of it and still runs down Lamar Jackson a little bit. But awesome call, very creative call. Gets the Ravens in field goal territory late in the game on 4th down to convert. So, fun stuff. We're going to see Rashad Bateman run a 5-step out, isolated on the top of the screen, and you're going to see him put his head down to try and sell vertical. Probably ends up running about 7 yards on those 5 steps, a little bit short, and ends up dropping the ball here, tries to leap before he looks, doesn't bring it in. Might not have made a world of difference because you have Justin Tucker, which bails the Ravens out in so many situations, but we see a good break by Emerson, despite a little bit of cushion, and Bateman just does not reel this one in. Good ball from Lamar Jackson. Would have made it an easier field goal for Tucker. Don't think Bateman's going to run through Emerson, who had a really nice game in this one. We can see a nice calm base and feet from Jackson. Quick little 1-step hitch and throw. Nice wide base. Delivers this ball well. And with zip, right into the hands of Bateman. That ball is whistling. I don't know why people keep saying Lamar Jackson has an elbow issue because the ball is zipping out of his hands, but we'll watch it one more time in full speed. Beautiful throw. But doesn't make a world of difference in the end because Tucker hits the field goal anyway. Just going to fast forward to going to the end zone angle. We see the Ravens go into this jumbo offset here. We've got Nick Boyle, who's going to tackle this 7-tech. Ronnie Stanley is going to assist on the tackle. Then we got McCary inside, Powers, Linderbaum, Zeitler, and Mark Andrews. So it's an unbounce. Ricard's going to come around. Gus Edwards is going to approach and then bounce here. Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa thinks he can just Troy Polamalu jump over it and couldn't be further away from making the play. Edwards gets 2 yards when he needed 1 and results in a 1st down. Again, just watch Nick Boyle come in the game and just tackle a man. Hasn't been playing a ton, still coming back off injury and all that stuff. Just tackles a man in the hips. That's perfect. Displaces him as much as humanly possible. It is Edwards and 50. 50 hesitated a little bit too much to come down hill a little harder, a little faster. It was a good square tackle, but he was too deep. 1st down, Ravens. The Ravens are just going to motion Mark Andrews into the backfield, hand him the football on a little zone concept. And Myles Garrett has had enough of Josh Oliver trying to block him here. And we will say try. And Oliver did try. Garrett gets into him and is just frustrated here. Ravens are driving, and boy, oh boy, does he continue through the whistle after Josh Oliver. So, Josh Oliver, you are officially a pest. You have upgraded from a not good blocker to a good blocker to a pest that requires Myles Garrett to go this hard. Congratulations, Josh. It's a big badge of honor. 3rd and 2 here. We're going to see the Ravens go back to a staple concept. They come out in 21 personnel, 2 backs, Ricard, whatever you want to call him, 21, 12, whatever you want to chart Ricard as, and then Mark Andrews. They're in this twins look, and we're going to see them run the bash on 3rd and 1 late in the 4th quarter trying to get a lead. Unfortunately, McCary trips on Kevin Zeitler as he's coming through and isn't able to lead for Lamar Jackson. Otherwise, this is a walk-in touchdown. So we see McCary pull from the right tackle spot. Jackson pulls the ball, and there's a wide open lane. You see the trip right there on Zeitler, which makes McCary fall down. And then Delpit able to corral Lamar Jackson. Very luckily, otherwise, that is a walk-in touchdown. Just the continuation of the Ravens constantly being one hand, one catch, one tipped ball, one play, one block away from busting the game wide open week after week. And here, it is just a foot. Everything's executed perfectly. There's nothing wrong here. He just trips. Could he have taken a better pass? Sure. Can you scrutinize that? Yes, sure. But then even Delpit able to make a tackle by an arm on Lamar Jackson, who can't quite tabletop himself up. Otherwise, they walk in, blow the game wide open, and this is an easy, calm win at the end of the game. Lamar Jackson frustrated.